Peace, love, and light, family. Peace, peace. Back again for any of my reflections out there that are gonna tune in to this live stream. This is basically just an open question for any of my reflections out there on social media that have questions that would like to ask Om, Sound of the Universe questions. Basically, what I'm going to start doing at certain times is I'm going to start opening up a connecting with the public, connecting with my reflections on the other side, to be able to slay some demons that the chosen may have, so slay some demons that beings might have. I'm also doing a little bit and talking a little bit about my astrology. I have been looking into my astrology and learning a lot about my astral energy and learning how I am a natural born communicator and such, but I'm also a good mediator and a good problem solver and a good counsel for people to come to and ask questions and to be able to get clarity of the mind from any low vibrational negative thoughts one may have, or low vibrational frequencies one may have. So basically, that's just what, I'm able to do that. I'm able to be interchangeable and be able to help those beings out there who need that help. Yo, Key! Alright, can I have that selfie stick, my reflection? Alright. So yeah, Melanation's been going off today back to back. We've just been going off on some lives. I have my reflections okay, so people are coming in the building. So yeah. We're hitting it back to back today with a bunch of divine information. Thank you, reflection. My reflection. Yep. All right. Blessed. All right. Hope this works for my reflections. Hold on. Yeah, this is. All right. Hope my reflections can see me. My something's going on with my thing here. It's all good though. Yeah. So like I said, this is a live stream to just to talk, and if anyone has any questions that they would like, any thoughts, anything that is on one's mind, that they would like to release, any energy, any confusion. I know the devil is just a low vibrational thought, low vibrational frequency that is it acts as an insulator from one's mind from being able to progress to higher levels of consciousness and be able to change one's perception by thought, ultimately changing one's reality, because we know that thought and perception change reality. So if I'm able to be here and be of service to those people, doing my videos, being a counsel, being a conscious high vibrational psychologist, being able to slay demons and organize one's mind in a way of being able to let one know and stay on the frequency of thought, then I would love to be able to do that. And if any of my reflections have any questions, just just hit the inbox, hit the chat, hit the comments, and I will respond. I know a lot of beings out there are confused and in Babylon and have questions, so this is exactly what it is to ask questions and to be able to open up. I know I make a lot of videos, generally in the morning, and I make a lot of videos, and I don't necessarily open too much up to my guests and the beings that are on here that see my videos. So I just want to give a chance to let any beings out there who really have some things to talk about, to let that information and let their thoughts out, so I can compartmentalize and be able to solve the internal issues that one may have, based off my divine wisdom and knowledge that was given to me from Master Teacher Nature Boy and Mama, tapping into the source. So if there are any beings out there that have that, just reply, and I'm gonna chatter in on basically what I was talking about with the confusion and the low vibrational frequencies that are going on in Babylon, that are distorting the mind of the chosen, distorting the mind of the beings that are meant to ascend and meant to come back and be the immunity and come in between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, and be the immunity on the planet and not the cancer. So it's important that we keep a healthy perspective and a healthy mindset about our reality and what our reality really is. That it's a holographic universe. Everything is a reflection of self. These are things that may help some beings. Positive affirmations. Always stay positive. Always smile. That saying that they say in Babylon, "Fake it till you make it," is probably one of the most useful tips that can be out there in Babylon on a low frequency. I mean, obviously we're giving divine wisdom at a high frequency and all kinds of keys and jewels and knowledge that can be dropped, that can be applied to one's life to better one's situation and be able to raise one's vibration and into enlightenment and into a higher state of frequency and manifesting oneself out of Babylon into another reality, for sure. But that saying is so relevant in so many ways, because faking it until one makes it is just it's very important, because this is how one is able to be able to be happy. Just be positive, be happy. I mean, also be honest with oneself if one's not happy, or if one feels as if they're they feel as if they're it feels as if they have a negative thought or a negative feeling. Express that, but don't let that sit. However one deals with their emotions, however one deals with their thoughts through emotions, deal with that, but don't let it turn into and manifest into something. Don't let it harbor. Don't let these negative, low vibrational thoughts and frequencies and feelings harbor in one's mind, because this will sit, fester, and then it will manifest in some form outside of oneself into reality. And when this manifests into reality, this will create stumbling blocks and all forms of all forms of obstacles that we need to come over. So there's going to be obstacles for those chosen that are coming out of Babylon into the motherland, into the tropics. There will be obstacles, but it's important to know how to deal with those obstacles and how to deal with those low vibrational frequencies. So give one example. So say one is dealing with a relationship, and this relationship, they like this person or whatever, they're in and out of the consciousness, they know they're chosen, and they're getting this divine wisdom, yet this being that they're with is not on the same frequency, does not agree with a lot of the things that one is on as far as frequency and thought, and this being is trying to manifest themselves out of Babylon, and this partner that they're with, does not want this. This is a stumbling block. This is where one needs to check oneself, analyze situation, be able to have a healthy perspective, being this is a holographic universe, this being really doesn't exist, this being is halting me and stopping me and blocking my blessings. Basically, I am in my own way. This being is in my way, and I need to let it go. Detach from anything that no longer serves. This being is not serving my higher purpose, therefore one needs to let go, detach from that, and move on. This is exactly what one needs to do. One needs to keep a healthy perspective about the holographic universe. Remember, holographic universe, projections, and electrical signals being interpreted from the brain, photons, and refractions from light. Everything is a hologram. It's just a projection from one's astral energy, and it's either a test or a blessing. It's either a lesson or a blessing. And it's probably it could be a test. This is a test to test one's fluidity, to test if one is able to maneuver through these obstacles that has been placed in front of oneself, in front of one's reality. This is Mama testing. Mama isn't gonna just let one being come out. She has to make sure that this being is ready, to make sure that this being is actually the chosen and able to get to be able to ascend and to be able to get out. And one has to grow, and growth does not happen in a comfortable situation, comfortable scenarios. One has to go through these obstacles in order to grow, because one has to be tested, and when one's tested, they're learning. So everything really is a blessing, but one has to see that it's a blessing. One has to be conscious that this is a blessing, and then be able to articulate it in a conscious way, to be able to be like, okay, this is a blessing. I know this because I'm conscious of what this is in front of me. via knowing what this reality is and my astral energies and what this being is, if it's a low vibration or a high vibrational frequency, and what role that being plays and what that being symbolizes in its life, just like a totem. Everything's like a totem in one's reality, and it means something. It could be something very small, as if something as small as, oh, that being's just a stumbling block they need to get over, or something as big as oh, this being is in one's life to raise vibration, and it popped up because one asked for this, and one has to go through and analyze one's reality and what one went through to be able to be like, oh, okay, I know this being's divine, I know this being entered my life to raise my consciousness and frequency, and everything else is just stumbling blocks in a test, and I'll be able to break down and analyze my reality from that perspective of a higher consciousness, from my higher self, and get rid of anything that no longer serves me, any negative lower vibrations, and move on from that. So this is how one analyzes. This is how one stays on the frequency and stays focused and being able to be conscious. Because when one is conscious, it's easier for one to be able to maneuver one's energy and be able to step into a higher frequency. I'm sorry for reflections. I hope everyone's still with me. I'm gonna sit down and see if I can't answer some of these questions. Okay, I apologize for me reading them like this. It's because my selfie stick wants to, or not my selfie stick, but my thing wants to be like this. Hold on. I'm just gonna try to tilt it, see if I can't get it to switch back. No, it doesn't want to switch back. Okay. So I'm just gonna go through the answers on these like this, and I'll tilt this back like this. Okay, so it's gonna have to be like this for the sake of what it wants. I want to walk into a message. Okay, Tahad, I love myself. Yes. Well, they are spreading lies about Nature Boy. Okay, that's irrelevant, Tahad. Anyone that's spreading lies and negativity is just a low frequency, a low thought vibration, and one has to look past that. Like I said, fake it till you make it, so be positive and just smile, and don't pay any attention to the beings that are spreading the low negative vibrations, because that's what they want. They want attention, and these beings that spread any information, any negative information, if one clicks on their page, they are generally beings that have no following and just are nothings, nobodies. And they're just reflections of self. It's a stumbling block. It's something that one needs to come over, like one was saying. One has to keep a healthy perspective of what this reality is, and not be not to be moved or shooken by these beings that are, essentially meaningless in one's life. This is to test one's fluidity, and being humble and being able to overcome like that, and not being like those beings and coming down to their frequency, and just moving past that. Don't get on these beings' frequency. They're nothing, and it's just a test. It's just a stumbling block. That's something we all need to get over. So yeah, like I said, it's very important we just keep a healthy perspective about this reality. For all those new people that have just entered the chat room, if there's any new people, this is a question and answer. So if anyone has any questions about how we live, or what one needs to do, or anything like that, I'm here to basically organize one's minds and thoughts, and any ideas that one has, and being able to help in any way that I can. So yeah, basically that's what it is. I've experienced a bunch of stumbling blocks in my past from coming into my higher consciousness, and I just pay them no mind, because I know that these beings are here to test me till I can grow, so that I can point these beings out, so that when I encounter them again on a higher frequency, I can dismay that and let go of or move aside from those beings, being able to pass those beings and know what they are and not get lost in the sauce. Because a lot of beings get lost in the sauce and get caught up with these beings that are low vibrational, and then they end up being stumbling blocks because they were in a relationship with them for too long, and this relationship took them nowhere and ended up being an obstacle. And we need to know these obstacles. We need to be positive at all times. We need to keep a healthy perspective. I can't stress this enough. I can't stress imagination enough. I can't stress being positive enough. When I was positive in Babylon, I kept a healthy perspective. I was able to maneuver my energy like like I was a God, which we are gods. We are gods. We are part of the Christ conscious. We are gods. And it's important that we know that, and it's important that we know that we're the masters of our own reality. Masters of our own reality, studying astrology and knowing, knowing everything, knowing our astrological energy. Because when we know our astrological energy, we know how our consciousness will play out in this realm. We'll know what energies we get along with, what energies we don't get along with. It's very important when one encounters another being to just ask them when their birthday is, know a little bit about their astrology. Then one will get a sense of their astral energy, because a being, even though they may be vibrating at a low frequency, will still have a play out of their astral energy. So one can be conscious and have a high vibrational consciousness of their astral energy and being on a conscious level, or one can be at a low frequency, still manipulating and expressing their astral energies just on a low frequency. So it's important that we know this and become conscious of this, because astrology is so very important, because then we'll know what energies get along, what zodiacs get along with each other, and what zodiacs don't get along. And it's so much more than zodiacs, because there's the natal chart and birth chart, and some beings are emotional in their moon, like a moon Cancer is a little emotional, but may have counter effects of that. And just to know how one manipulates their energy, like I was just saying in the beginning of this, that I am not only a natural born communicator, but I'm a mediator, and I'm good with being a counsel, being someone that one can come to and ask questions and be able to get information, and being able to sort out and organize one's mind if one needs to, and being that mediator for the beings that are chosen, that may be going through hard times, that may be going through times of dealing with low vibrational beings and low frequencies. Like I had just said before, if one's dealing with a low vibration or a low frequency, one needs to detach from that, because it's only going to cause pain. And when one is conscious and is stuck in Babylon, it becomes purgatory, because there's going to be a time where beings are not going to be allowed to get out of Babylon. And when they're not allowed to get out of Babylon and they're conscious, they'll be stuck in purgatory. They'll know these things, and this will be a hindrance. This will be the worst way for someone to be stuck in Babylon. Now, unconscious and stuck in Babylon, that's a little bit better and more a luxury, because one does not have the subconscious mindset that's overweighing one's brain on I'm stuck in Babylon, and I know all this thing. I know the right thing to do. I know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm stuck. The doors are closed. I can't get out because martial law happened and all this negative stuff. And on top of that, I also know that Mama's going to wipe out the Cancer, and I'm in the middle of the Cancer, and I know that the Cancer, if one's a part of Babylon or in Babylon, they are Babylon, no matter if one's conscious or not, because Mama does not make a safe haven for those beings that are in a cancerous environment, in a non-natural environment. That environment that one is in is not natural for one's being, and shit's going to happen, and beings are going to get wiped out there. So it's important that we keep a healthy perspective of that, and make the move now. Apply the information to make the change now. There's no time to wait. I know some beings ask, how long, I got to do this, I got to do that. No. Mama wants one to walk out on faith. Well, Mama wants one to drop everything and submit completely to the source, to nature. Submit completely and give one's all to Mama. And then one will receive blessings. Then Mama will pave and show the way for any chosen, any light beings out there who are really meant to be the immune system, and to be a part of this side, be a part of getting in tune with nature, be on this side rather than being in the cancerous side. So it's very important that we realize this, and we pick a side, and we don't pussyfoot or try to be on two sides of the gate, because that's not how it's going to happen. So if one's conscious and one knows this information, it's best one gets out now, because when the time comes and the door is shut, one is going to go through excruciating pain knowing exactly what's going to happen, and it's going to fold out right in front of one's eyes, because the message, the horns have been blown. Melanation is here to send the broadcast 24/7 in your face, through downloads, through any means necessary. We give the information, and I'm master teacher, and all these beings, melanated beings here, give the information in music form. We give it in art form. We give it in the form of the broadcasts that I make with videos and doing open-ended questions and live streams, because some beings are conscious and know all this information, but just need to ask questions and need to get that verbal talking to be able to spark the mind. Some people just can't take the information as as one gives it, as Master Teacher gives it, or as one gives it, and some beings just need that one-on-one counsel. Some beings just need to actually interact and talk rather than just having the being talk to them and just listen. So all forms are being expressed to be able to open up and to solve and be able to shift the minds of the chosen in their consciousness to be able to awaken them. And this is another expression, a form of expression from verbal communication, to be able to open up those beings, is for a being to being like myself and Master Teacher and any other being, all the other light beings here that do these question and answer that videos, is to be able to spark the minds for those people that need to ask the questions and get clarification on certain things. I drop a lot of knowledge and downloads and jewels and divine wisdom in my videos, but I know beings just need a one-on-one counsel. So I'm here for the chosen. I'm here for my reflections, because I love myself. So I'm here for any beings that need this. Here's a question right here. Donna Latia, hello, reflection. And here we go. Chantel Benton, what progress have you noticed with yourself since being in the tropics? Progress. Well, I have noticed a lot of progress. I am down to my natural weight of what one should be. I went through a period of time where in Babylon where I had a lot of acne and such on my face. My face is entirely cleared up, and it looks good, and my skin is just rebuilding itself. My body is becoming alkaline, and when it becomes alkaline, it reprograms one's being and helps response signals, because I'm an electromagnetic being and alkaline, creating an alkaline fluidity in the body. Makes it easier for response signals, electrical response signals, to be sent through the brain through communication cells and neurons and such in the brain. So I'm picking up information at an all-time rate and an all-time high. Also connecting to to Mama, being telluric energy, and getting the divine signals from Master Teacher and from the Sun, and then being able to reflect that light back on to my reflections and my verbal forms of communication, and then the posts that I make on Instagram and Facebook for all those light beings. If one looks down my page, they will truly be enlightened, and that's a lot of growth that I have made. Also, knowing a lot about myself through astrology, I found out a lot about me being a natural-born communicator and how I communicate, because there's a lot of verbal communicators, but to know the in-depths of how I'm able to communicate, which we have like Mercury is how one knows how they express themselves. So Mercury is a very important for all my reflections out there to study. Study Mercury, and that's how one will know how they articulate and be able to express themselves artistically. My artistic abilities are being able to communicate. I have a Libra and Mercury, but it's also at 0 degrees. So I also have Aries in there too. So I have a little bit of, I'm pulling fire and I'm pulling air. And Libra is Libra's very in the middle. It likes to balance things out. So when I speak, sometimes I'll balance out what I'm saying with other information that makes more sense. So I'm very balanced in that essence of my communication. Air signs are very good communicators too. Mercury's and Virgos are very articulate with the way that they speak, more so than some air signs. So Virgos and Mercury, if there's any Mercury's and Virgo, they're very good at receiving information and then being able to reply that and sending out the signal. So Mercury and Virgos would get this message. I'm actually a Virgo. That's my sun sign. I'm a Virgo, so that helps out with me being a Mercury, Libra / Aries, being able to communicate. And then, like I just said before, another thing learning about astrology through my growth and the improvements that I've made is knowing that in the in-depths of me communicating, I know that I'm like a counselor. I'm very good at like psychology and being able to help with people's thoughts and minds, and being able to make things make sense to people, and also slay any negative low vibrational thoughts, so that one can continue their journey on to ascension of the higher consciousness and manifesting themselves out of Babylon. I've also noticed being in tune with nature, just being when the sun goes down, we go down. When the sun comes up, we come up. Drinking pure alkaline water of a pH of 9.5. We get our water from the river free. We eat fruit. my being has just never been more healthier, and I'm just very intuitive, tapping into my natural abilities. Because in Babylon they give you fake personalities and a fake reality and a fake way of thinking and a fake way of acting, and me being able to know thyself and being able to study myself, I'm able to tap into my abilities of knowing what my true authentic form of expression, which is my astrological energy. So it's very important. Astrology is very important, and that's what I've been into. So that's a lot of growth that I've made. Other growth is just being positive and being happy, and being able to share be able to connect, and being able to be a part of Melanation with my master teacher, and everything that we stand for, and being able to send out the broadcast and being a part of the community and doing my job here. That's a definite growth. Being able to open myself up and be able to reflect my light artistically in my own form of expression, and knowing that I'm doing the right thing consciously, and being on this side of the wall rather than being on the other side, and just living in the tropics, knowing everything that I know, and being able to help my reflections out there. That's another growth. Being able to make these videos for my reflections and actually helping people is a true blessing, and I am so thankful. I'm so grateful that I'm able to help the chosen and help the beings out there that need help, and even the beings that aren't chosen. This information will seep in and help for those who will get it the next cycle in the next lifetime. So all beings have to come to the source. All beings will have to come to this right here. So it's important that I'm able to help people get back in tune. That's another growth too, getting in tune. I've been able to get my pot back, get my water back, and really get in tune with Mama. And if one hears this in the background, that's tuning me in to the frequency. All of that is just divine. So that's one of the best things right there. So that's a blessing. So I hope that answers one question, Chanel. Another question. I want to leave. I will leave, but I refuse to leave without my 2 children. Okay, I know that. Yeah, no. Let me reiterate on that. Children are master teachers, meant here for people, for beings to learn lessons through. So if one has a true connection to their children and cannot leave them, don't leave them. Take them with you. Take them with one and get out of Babylon. Get out of Babylon and go start a tribe and do one's own thing. I can't stress that enough. Do that. If one feels that is what one needs to do, then do that. Don't resist the evil. Don't resist anything that one truly feels that is in their heart to do. So yeah, to you reflection, go and do that. Definitely get out of Babylon and take one's kids and just get out, because times are coming, and it's better to be on this side, being in tune, and paving a way for your reflections, one's direct reflections, to be in tune. And that's what one's meant to do this lifetime, because there's immunities of all kinds, there's immune cells of all kinds that are meant to be here to do their job. So that's very important, just to do that. Yeah, so definitely take one's kids out and do that. Oh, and it is just believe. There's beings out there who have small children that feed them fruit, and do one's research. Go on YouTube and type in plant-based diet for children and such, and do the research about these kids that have been able to do this. Obviously, there's going to be some BS out there, some negative stuff that people didn't follow the instructions right, and there's just beings out there who were careless. But yeah, no, one will be able to do it, and do the best that one can. B6 diet, potatoes, plant-based diet. One can do it. It is possible. So don't ever feel like it's not possible to be fruitarian and to get out of the tropics with one's kids. It's definitely positive. That definitely can happen. Chanel, yes, anytime reflection. Donna Letty. Yeah, always inbox. If one has any questions, one can always inbox me on my Facebook, and if it's a conversation that we can spark and it's enlightening and benefiting for the both, that I can help, yes, we can. But I believe we might have spoken before, but if one has any other questions, yeah, we can speak. Like I said, a lot of the information is on my Facebook too. I know some beings come and hit me with the UWAP, with the questions that one like just made a video about it. So it's like I'll direct a lot of the times I'll just direct people to certain videos, and studying Nature Boy TV. It's very important that one actually studies and gets this information. I mean, one will get really enlightened if they go on Eligio Bishop's Facebook page, go on Sound of the Universe page, Omak the Ancient, his page. All these pages have boatloads of information that will help beings get out of the situation and be able to manifest themselves out. Donna Lita, if one has any questions right now, may as well just ask them right now, and if it's of great importance that I can answer, I'll answer and respond to. But a lot of beings just need to actually go down the page and study this information rather than trying to get this is a different example, because I'm actually making a post, a live stream for the beings that actually have questions. But sometimes we get sometimes I get beings that have questions and they haven't even tapped into the information, and they just want like a direct question or whatnot, and they're not even on the frequency. This is specifically for the chosen that are on the frequency and are on the broadcast and just need a little bit more assistance or whatnot. And to do that, I mean, I have so much information on there for all my reflections, how to get out of Babylon, and I'm 24/7 broadcast, so there's going to be more information that's coming up. And yes, it's good. Inbox me, because then if one sparks something in my mind, I'll make another post about it, and then one can just check my post, and it will most likely answer the questions. That's what I do sometimes too. If some beings inbox me and I don't respond or whatnot, it's okay. Just check my page or whatnot, and I most likely have either made a post about it, or I have already responded to one. So sometimes I don't respond, sometimes I do, based off the frequency and the vibe that I'm getting from the being. So no hard feelings. I'm just keeping myself on the frequency and in tune. And this is how we need to calculate, and this is how we need to be able to manifest ourselves, knowing what beings to tap into and give energy to, and what beings not to give energy to. Sometimes I'll give energy to a being, answer a question, and then they'll have more questions, and they'll just keep coming for energy, coming for energy, when there's all boatloads of information, and one's even directed them to certain videos, and just looking and finding the information for self. Because if one is really a truth seeker and one is really chosen, one will actually find the information, and nothing will stop them from getting the information. So I hope that answers one's question. Do you any cooked food, fruitarian? No. From time to time, we do eat some cooked food from time to time. Not all the time though, and it's it's nothing really. It's like we'll have we stick to the B6, which is just baked potato, not baked potatoes. It's just boiled potatoes, sunflower seeds, bananas, avocados, tomatoes, and sunflower seeds, which is the B6, and then fruit rest of the day. So cooked foods, we do boil our potatoes, and yeah, that's we just stick to that B6 diet. That's what we stick to. So to answer that question, so yeah, it's strictly B6. So yeah, like I said, if any beings have any more questions or anything that they want to for questions, I can ask. Thanks for extending the offer of inboxing. It's not in public questions, so I will just inbox on my work break and go from there. Okay, yeah, if one has any information, inbox. Like I said, if I don't respond right away, don't get discouraged. Or if I don't respond, don't get discouraged. Like I said, go on my page. There's so much information. Go on my page, Master Teacher's page, Eligio Bishop on Facebook, Nature Boy Reflection on Facebook, all the other light beings that I have shouted out, Azul Aki, Om Sound of the Universe, Omak the Ancient, Yaya, this is Brittany Stevenson on Facebook, Erica Carroll on Facebook, all these light beings, which is BP, Erica Carroll's BP. All these Melanation, Phoenix Rising, all these Melanation people have all kinds of information. And one can also go on Om Sound of the Universe TV on YouTube and get a lot of videos that I've had that are enlightening, and also Nature Boy TV on YouTube, and there's a lot of information there too. I'm going to be giving all kinds of downloads within the next couple of days. I have a lot of information a lot of good information that I'm here gathering up and compartmentalizing and making make sense, so that I can give this divine wisdom and knowledge to all my reflections. So stay tuned for all the divine information that's coming to all my reflections out there. So Jadana. Autumn Marie, thank you very much. So do you guys own land or just found a spot to begin the build? Well, first of all, no one can own land. Owning land is a figment of one's imagination. One cannot truly own anything because we are everything, so one can't own itself. So yeah, no, one can't own land. It's just all the stuff is it's just we found a spot. This is a place that Mama has provided to us, and it's really frequency and how we felt about it, and it just popped up. A lot of things that happen with the Melanation and Etherians and is just all divine and very very whimsical. It just happens very magical. So we generally just things pop up and then we it happens. So that's how things happen when we're on this type of frequency. Things just manifest into our reality and then we go with it. Because that's the type of frequency that one needs to be on, understanding that one can't truly own anything, and just understanding that. So one just needs to get out of the Babylon state of mindset where one thinks that one's got to buy and pay and own. That's not what thought frequency you're on. Things just magically happen for us. We meditate on certain things and put things out into the universe, and things just magnetically attract to us. And I did a video actually today on manifestation and magnetism. So one can check that out and understand about magnetism and manifestation, and they can get a good idea about how that all works. So I hope that answers one's question. Lanita Thomas, peace reflection, peace. Yeah. So that's how it works. I mean, like I said, get enlightened for that, and for any beings out there, I think I'm gonna close this up for right now. Sun's about to go down, so I'm about to go do what I need to do, and I'll be back in the morning for any beings out there with some divine knowledge. So stay tuned, stay humble, stay plugged in, stay connected to nature, and I love myself. Peace, love, and light.